Hi guys! Today we're going to be going over some multiplication types of problems. For the fourth grade, we're specifically focusing on the box method. So we're going to look at what's called a 2 by 1, which is a 2-digit number multiplied by a 1-digit number, or you can flop them around. We know with multiplication you can put numbers in any order. We're also going to look at a 3-digit number by a 1-digit number, a 3 by 1, and a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number, a 2 by 2. We're going to start with the 2-digit by 1-digit. So we've got 23 times 4. Because we're doing the box method, we know we're going to start with one big square. No matter what size the number was, how many digits were in the number, you always start with one square. So then you look at your problem. Looking at the first number, you ask yourselves, how many digits are in this number? Remember, digits are any time there's a number in a space. So in this case, we have 2 digits. Because we have 2 digits, we're going to break the vertical side of the box into 2 pieces. Because there's 1, 2, so you have 1, 2 pieces. Then we're going to look at the second number. This one only has 1 digit, which means your horizontal piece only needs to be in 1 piece. Well, it's already one big piece, so you don't have to break that into any pieces. All right, so now your box should look like this. Then we have to label our box. We actually are going to take our numbers and we're going to break them into expanded form. So if we had 23, and we want to put that in expanded form, that would be 20 plus 3. If we had 4 in expanded form, that would be just 4, because it's only a ones place. There's no tens place to pull apart. Now that we've broken this into expanded form, if you notice, we have 1, 2, 3 places to label, and we have 1, 2, 3 different pieces. So because 23, we divided this side into 2 pieces for that. We would put 20 and 3. And then our 4 goes on the side we only divided into 1 piece. So now we have our problem set up. It's important that we remember what direction our numbers go. Our numbers on the top always go down. So that means this 4 is going to scoot right down both times. It goes down like an elevator. Then we have our numbers on the side. Our numbers on the side always go across. So this 20 is going to scoot right over. If there's another box over here, the 20 would go in there too, but there is no box there, so we don't have to worry about it. Then we have our 3, it's also going to scoot over. So now if you look inside our boxes, we actually have 2 different equations. We have 20 times 4 and 3 times 4. I'm going to use a different color so we can see that. But when we do 20 times 4, we know that 2 times 4 is 8. And because this is a 10, we're going to add a 0 in the end. So that would be 8 with a 0 on the end, which makes that 80. Then we have 3 times 4. By saying my 4 is 4, 8, 12. That gives me 12. All right. Our last step is to put these pieces back together. Rather than multiplying all of this at once, we made 2 smaller multiplication problems out of it, but we still have to add them together because we're still trying to find the answer for the original equation. So we're going to add 80 plus 12. We add our ones place first. 0 plus 2 is 2. 8 plus 1 is 9. So our answer would be 92. And that is how you multiply a 2-digit by 1-digit number. All right, next we're going to look at a 3-digit by 1-digit. The problem we're going to look at is 416 times 3. Remember, we start every problem off with a box. We're going to follow the exact same step as we did in the last problem. We look at the first number and we ask ourselves, how many digits are in this number? We've got 1, 2, 3 digits in that number. So we need to break our vertical piece into 3 pieces. So that's going to look a little bit like this. Remember, when you're breaking a shape into pieces, if you need 3 pieces, you only draw 2 lines. You always do 1 less line than the number of pieces you want to make. Then we're going to look at the second number. There's 1 digit in that number. So we only need 1 box. We already have that, so we actually don't have to touch that side right now. Now we take our numbers and we're going to break them into expanded form. So with 416, if I break that into expanded form, we're looking at each place in isolation. In the hundreds place, I have a 4, and we put 2 zeros at the end because it's 100, plus our tens place, which we have a 1 with 1 0 for 10, and our ones place we have a 6, and we don't get a 0 because it's already a ones place. Then we've got our 3. It's already in the ones place, so still 3. Now if you notice, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to label. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 labels. So we're going to take our first set, the 400, the 10, and the 6, and we're going to label it going down. That's 400. Ooh, it's a little hard to see. Hold on. That's 400, 10, and 6. See how we've got them going straight down? Then we're going to take our single digit, our 3. We're going to label that at the top. Now remember, this is when you figure out what direction your numbers go. The numbers at the top always multiply down. I'm going to draw an arrow just to remind myself that this number is going to go down. So that would be a 3. It's kind of like it's riding an elevator. It's just going to keep on scooting down until it can't go down anymore. Our numbers on the side always go across. They never go any kind of crooked directions. These numbers always travel either up or down or side to side. That's it. So this 400 is going to scoot over. This 10 scoots over. And this 6 scoots over. Now we have the makings of 3 different equations. Because this is a multiplication problem, we're going to put a multiplication sign in between them. Now that we have our equations, we're going to solve them. I'm going to get a different marker again so we can see the difference. We're going to do green this time. All right, so we have 400 times 3. Now, I don't know about you, but 400 times 3, that's not a fact I know right off the top of my head. But I do know that any number that has a 0 at the end of it when you're multiplying, you can pretend like the 0 isn't there to start with and then put the zeros back at the end. So I know there's going to be 2 zeros at the end of my answer. Now that I've dealt with the zeros, I can do 4 times 3 is 4, 8, 12. 4 times 3 is 12. So 1,200 is the answer. Now I have 10 times 3. Well, if I count my tens, 10, 20, 30. And 6 times 3, 6, 12, 18. All right, now I have 3 pieces. The only problem is if I write all 3 of these as my answer, it's not going to make sense. Because I broke my original problem into separate pieces, I want to put all of my pieces back together. So I'm going to line them up like a regular addition problem. Remember, it's very important that you have them in line. If you put your 18 over here in the 12 place, it's going to make your answer completely off. Make sure all of your ones are in a row, all of your tens, all of your hundreds, all of your thousands. Once you've got it like that, you're going to go ahead and add. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 2 plus nothing. 1 plus nothing. So our answer is 1,248. All right, remember I said we were going to do 3 different types of problems. Our last one is called a 2 by 2. So a 2 by 2, our problem this time is going to be 24 times 13. 24 times 13. Remember, we always start by drawing our box. Doesn't matter what type of number they give us, we can draw the box. we're going to ask ourselves, looking at the first number, how many digits are there? Remember, we count our digits 1, 2. How many numbers? There's 2 digits there, so we're going to break our vertical side, the up and down side, into 2 pieces. Then we ask ourselves, how many digits are in the second number? 1, 2. Well, there's 2 pieces, so we're actually going to break the top one into 2 pieces. If you notice, this is the only one of the 3 types that we break the top into 2 pieces. It has to do with that question of how many digits. If it was 1 digit like the other 2, we wouldn't break the top. Okay, now that we've got our square set up, we're going to break our numbers into expanded form to see what our labels are going to be. So we're going to start with 24. 24, if you look at the tens place, there's a 2, and it's in the tens place, so it has 1 0 at the end. And there's a 4 in the ones place. And then 13, there's a 1 in the tens place, which means it needs a 0 at the end for the tens place. And then 3 is in the ones place, so it stays a 3. Now, if you notice, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 places to label. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4 labels. So we're going to go on the vertical side. We're going to have 20 and 4. And on the horizontal side, we're going to have 10 and 3. All right. Remember, all of our numbers at the top always multiply down. So our 3 is going to go right on down, just like it's riding an elevator. On an elevator, you can't go sideways. You can only go up and down. Our 10 is also on its own little elevator. So he is going to go straight on down too. Now, our numbers on the side are always going to go across. Notice they can't go up and down if they wanted to because they don't have any boxes up and down for them, but they do have boxes open going across. So it would be 20 and 20, 4 and 4. Because this is a multiplication problem, you need multiplication signs in each of the boxes. So if you look, these are our equations we have so far. Now I'm going to switch over to a different color. Got green again. If we're looking here at these ones, we're going to solve what's in each box. 20 times 10, I don't know that off the top of my head, but I do know that any number that ends in a 0, I can just put those zeros at the end of my answer, and I can multiply the rest of it. There's 2 zeros, so 2 zeros at the end. 2 times 1, I definitely know. I know that's 2. So my answer is 200. 20 times 3, again, I don't know that. But there's 1 0, so that will be 1 0 at the end of my answer, which leaves 2 times 3 is 6. 4 times 3, 4, 8, 12. 4 times 10, 10, 20, 30, 40. So we're almost there. Remember, we broke these into pieces to solve them. Now we need to put all of our pieces back together. Once again, it's super important that you line all of your places up correctly. I like to start with my biggest numbers and go in order so that I make sure they're in line. So we're going to start with 200, then 60, then 40, then 12. Remember, with addition, it doesn't matter what order you put them in when you add. I just like to go in order from biggest to smallest so that I know I line them up right. Now that I know all of my ones are in a row, all of my tens and all of my hundreds, I can add. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 6 is 6. 6 plus 4, 7, 8, 9, that's 10. 10 plus 1 is 11. Put a 1 down here. I carry my 1 to the hundred side. 2 plus 1 is 3, plus nothing is still 3. So my answer is 312. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave comments and I'll try to clear them up. Thanks.